Okay, well today I'm working on a commission for Travis. He collects Karate Kid um, pieces where Karate Kid is battling or sparring with other characters from different books, different mediums. He has some really cool stuff. Anyways, I started off by trying to do a few pieces of just getting some ideas of some fighting styles and fighting positions. So some of these I showed on my blog, except for the girl in the middle. Of course, she doesn't fit. Then as we went on, I actually came up with a design. This was one idea, but I wasn't too happy with the way this would be Karate Kid, this would be Timberwolf. Trying to show Timberwolf's acrobatic ability. That's his main thing, though people think of him as a Wolverine type character. Then I came up with this layout. Now for some reason that wasn't working. Once I started transferring it, it just looked a little wonky, for lack of a better term. So I scrubbed that one and started working on some other ideas. Got down to a point where I started playing around here with some of these little figures. Again, Karate Kid, Timberwolf, a couple other positions here, until I finally came up with, and this is real rough, but you're seeing it here, but it would actually be angled like this. Hope that's in the camera. Anyways, that's basically the position I've got them in. That's as far as I'm going to go with the roughs. I scanned this in Photoshop and then I've printed it in color on 11 by 17 copy paper. So what I end up with is a big printout of it. Let's take it off here for a second. Like so. See that? And I now lay it on top of, or underneath, a piece of smooth Bristol board. Now the Bristol board I'm going to use for the final art. And I've got a light table that's built into my drawing table here. Actually, it's a table from IKEA. And it has an opening so you can put a lamp or something underneath it. Well, I actually took my old light box and mounted it up underneath. So I just have a switch underneath the table that I just reach up and get. I'm going to leave a light on so you can see. Hopefully you can see these. There's what I'm seeing through the paper. It's still, like I said, pretty rough, but it's got most of the stuff there. And I'm going to put a piece of paper over this to kind of keep any oils from my hand from getting in there. I'm going to check the camera, make sure we're in line. Let's adjust this. There, that looks a little bit better. Alright, so here we go. Right now I'm just using an H pencil, so I can work real light and I don't push down too hard and dent the paper. I do have a tendency to push down a little bit too much. So, in some of these places you'll notice that I'm extending the lines past where they'd be hidden. But that's all for structure. Now I've struggled with this piece a little bit more than normal. But then I do work a lot harder on the ones that I do in the studio. If anybody's ever wondered why I have a price difference between what I do at a convention and what I do in studio, the time that I actually put into a commission in the studio is, well, I could easily work on something else and make more money. But these are fun. And since I have it in the studio, I try to put a little bit of extra into it, try to make it, give the person their money's worth. I know at a convention you can only do so much. I can't sit there and do 7 or 8 rough sketches and research and look things up and try to make sure I've got certain things right, because, well, as much as they're kind of polished and finished, they're still sketches. So what I'm doing right now is basically getting the forms down, and then that way I'll know where to go when I start to do the final pencils and then inks. I don't want to go too detailed at this point. I just want the general motion and everything and structure, because nothing will suck the life out of a drawing quicker than actually doing the finished pencils and then tracing the finished pencils and then trying to ink the pencils, and it just, by that point you've done it 3 times and you're pretty much tired of it, and you're kind of going through the motions, and like I said, it can suck the life out of it pretty quick. So this is where we're at with this. And let's see. What I do sometimes, I'll turn off the lights, look at it, see if I've got the structure in there. Pretty much, yeah, that looks good enough. Now let's get Timberwolf. I did both characters in different pencil colors using color erase pencils, and the reason was is so that I could draw through each character, like across the leg and all that, even though one character is behind the other. I could draw through the characters and not get confused later on when I start light tabling the drawing. It's also why I print it out in color too, so those colors still show up and I can see the difference. Usually I work in blue and red for no reason other than those are usually what are handy. But today I actually did a lot of work in blue and erased a lot of work in the original drawing, and it started to get a little messy, so I switched over to a purple pencil. And that was so I could actually see it after all the blue line mess that I had going on there. So really doesn't matter. Just use whatever. I use whatever's handy. Sometimes I don't even bother trying to find 2 different colored pencils, and I'll just go for it and make it work. Now I'm filming this on a Saturday morning. It's one of the rare times where I actually didn't have to do any work. I didn't have any commercial work that I need to work on. I mean, there's always something hopping, but nothing was urgent, so it was kind of nice. So I'm working on this instead. I hope this is all up in the frame. Okay. I think that part 1 is over. There's the structure, everything I need on it for right now. And then I'm going to actually turn off the light table and move over to the other side of my table and start doing some finishing pencils.